Hey there, my name's Dave and welcome to another Guitar Zero to Hero song tutorial. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to play Wind of Change by Scorpions. I'll teach you a basic way of playing it on the acoustic guitar, but also the studio version on the electric guitar, including the guitar solo. If you want to master your chords back to front, then be sure to head over to guitarzerotohero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. Or if you're fairly new to guitar and you're looking to build a strong and solid foundation, but you don't know where to start, then be sure to check out the Guitar Zero to Hero Premium course and membership, which gives you all the guidance to play with confidence. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. Let's jump into the lesson. First off, I'm going to teach you the simplest way of playing this song with chords on an acoustic guitar. This is great for the beginners out there who just want a simple way of strumming and singing along to this song. In the second half of this video, I'll teach you all the electric guitar parts, including the solo if you want more of a challenge. So let's start with intro, and this is also used in the break of the song. So there's two lines of chords. We're going to start with an F chord. So F bar chord like this. Now I know F bar chord can be difficult for a lot of beginners out there. So an easier F would be an F over C like this. So to play an F over C, ring and pinky finger on the 3rd frets of the 5th and 4th string, middle on the 2nd fret of the 3rd, and index finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. You can just focus on the middle 4 strings, having your 6th and 1st string muted. That's F over C, which is a nice substitute for F. For the rest of this lesson, I will be using the full F bar chord though. If you are determined to play the F this way, then the stepping stone to that would be to just focus on the top 2 or 3 strings, at least. That will get you 70 to 80% of the sound of the full F chord. So just focus on these heavier bass notes first, and then over time, you'll get these higher strings ringing out. Then we have D minor, back to F, and another D minor. Now in terms of strumming pattern, I'd suggest something like this for simplicity. Just 4 down strums followed by a quick up strum. So down, 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 up. Now 2 of them cover 1 full bar. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, 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 up, down, 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 up. So the first line of chords in total will sound like this. For the second line of chords, we go to A minor for 1 full bar. Then we have D minor to A minor, and that's contained within 1 bar. So we played that short strumming pattern once for each of those chords. And then the final chords are G, but I have a little dash here because this particular bar is only 2 beats long. So it's just the short strumming pattern for this G by itself. We're not playing it for the full 4 beats. That's it for the intro, which sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, next we get to verse number 1, which is really simple. There's just 1 line of chords here. We start off with C for 1 full bar, D minor for 1 full bar, back to C for 1 full bar, then D minor to A minor. Those 2 chords share the 1 bar, and then back to our G with a little dash on top, because again, this chord is only played for 2 beats. And this line of chords in total. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's just repeated through twice for verse number 1. After verse 1, there's a break, which is the same as the intro. Then we have verse 2, which is also the same as verse 3. Now, there's 2 lines of chords here. Now, both lines of chords are almost identical, except for the final bar. When we go to this final G, we are now playing that for the full bar. It's not just 2 beats. If you want to see in context, go to the playthrough at the end of this lesson. Then we get to the first chorus. Now, for this first chorus, there's 2 lines of chords. We have C to G. Now there's 2 chords within 1 bar, so each chord is just played for that shorter strumming pattern. Then from the G we go to a D minor. Now A good tip here is that from the G to the D minor, you can just pivot your ring finger from that point. There's no need to lift that finger. And back to a G, so the second bar. That first line of chords is played through twice, and for the second line of chords, we have A minor to F within one bar, and then we go to a G for one full bar. We are just going to play one short strumming pattern though, and on the 3 beat, strum it once and let it ring out. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So the chorus in total. 1, 2, 3, 4. After the first chorus is a break, and it's just 2 bars of a C chord, really nice and simple. Then we have the third verse and then the second chorus. The second chorus is the same as the first chorus, just played through twice. Next is the bridge, which is 2 lines of chords. We have A minor for one full bar, G, A minor, G, and then it's C, D minor, and 2 bars of the E major. So the bridge. After the bridge, there's the solo section. So rhythmically, this is what we're going to play. There's 2 lines of chords. We go F to G. That's those 2 chords are contained within 1 bar. So again, just a short strumming pattern for each of them. Then E major to A minor. Again, 2 chords within 1 bar. For the third bar, it's F to G again. And then for the fourth bar, A minor for 1 full bar. The second line of chords is almost the same, except for the third bar, we go to a D minor for 1 full bar and then end with an E major. So pretty self-explanatory, just follow along with the chords, and the solo section rhythmically will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have the final chorus, which is the same as the other choruses. This final chorus is played through twice. The second time we play it though, there's just one little addition, and that's the G, the final G chord being held out for 1 extra bar. So I'll just play the final line of chords for this second time we play the chorus at the end. 3, 4, outro. The outro is pretty self-explanatory. It's just 2 lines of chords. We have F to D minor twice, then the A minor, and then we end the song by strumming a D minor. If you want to see all of that in context, head to the playthrough at the end of this lesson. Very self-explanatory though, it's just following along with the chords, and we have that one simple strumming pattern that we're going to use basically throughout the entire song. In terms of structure, we have intro, verse 1, break 1, verse 2, chorus 1, break 2, verse 3, the second chorus, bridge, solo, the final chorus, and then the outro. Okay, so now I'm going to teach you all the electric guitar parts. In terms of tone, I've got a Strat here and I'm using the middle position, but feel free to experiment with the pickup positioning and see what sounds best for you. On the amp side, I'm using a clean amp. I've got the gain turned up on that fairly high, so if you dig in, there's a little bit of grit, and then I've just added chorus and a bit of reverb to it. Let's start with the intro, and there's 3 lines of tap here. We're going to start with an F here on the 8th fret of the 5th string with our index finger, and have your ring finger barring across the 10th frets of the 4th and 3rd string. We're going to hit the root note on the 1 beat, and on the 2 beat, you'll strike the 3rd and 4th strings. And after you strike it, you can just lift your fretting hand. So there's no need to let that note ring out. So 1 and 2. After that, on the 3 beat, we'll shift positions. Have your index finger ready here on the 10th fret of the 5th string. We're going to start with a mute. So just drop your pick onto the strings with nothing fretted down. And then after that, fret down on the 10th fret, pluck that and hammer onto 12th. And then with your index finger, bar across the 10th frets of the 4th and 3rd, pluck that. And then with your ring finger, bar across the 12th frets of the 3rd and 2nd strings. At the same time, you'll slowly shift your index finger down to bar across the 10th frets of the 3rd and 2nd string. We're going to hit these 12th fret notes and then pull off to the 10th fret. Now for the pull off motion, it's best to actually drag your ring finger in a downwards motion, and that way you'll get the pull off sound. If you just lift your fingers off the fretboard, you're not really going to get that second note ringing out. So pull off, and then with your ring finger, 12th fret of the 4th string. And this lick in total. So we're going to hold that out into the next bar. On the 2 beat, we'll then go back to the 10th frets of the 3rd and 2nd string and just strike those 2 strings, but fairly quietly. We don't need to hit them very hard. So the first line of tab in total. For the second line of tab, we start off the same way, just the second half of this bar is a little different. So we're going to start off with that muted stroke and then pluck the 5th string, hammer on from 10th to 12th. The double stop on the 10th fret of the 4th and 3rd strings. Then 12th frets of the 3rd and 2nd with your ring finger, but we're going to pluck this twice and then pull off. So that's the only difference here between the first line of tab and the second line of tab. We're going to hit this double stop twice, pull off, and then end on the 12th fret of the 4th string. In the first bar. For the second bar, we go back to the 10th fret of the 3rd string. As you hit that, you'll just do a slight quarter bend. So you can just pull that down. Back to 12th fret of the 4th string. And then the last lick here is barring across the 10th frets of the 3rd and 2nd. So hit this double stop, hammer on and pull off with your ring finger. Like that. And then 12th fret of the 4th string. So the final lick. And the second line of tab in total. So for the third line of tab, after we've struck the 12th fret of the 4th string, we're going to actually slide that down to the 7th fret. And that occurs on the 1 beat of this third line of tab. So on the 1 beat, you want to slide to that 7th fret. 1. And then a double stop on the 5th frets of the 3rd and 2nd string. Pluck those 2 strings and hammer your ring finger onto the 7th fret. And then we're going to pluck the 3rd string by itself, pull off to 5th and 7th fret of the 4th. Back up to the 5th fret of the 3rd string with a quarter bend, and then end on the 7th fret of the 4th string. So this final lick. And from the 12th fret note of the second line of tab. And 1, 2. For the next bar, we go to a D minor chord, really nice and easy. We're going to pluck the 4th string, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So 1 and 2, and then go to an A minor 7 chord shape, hit the 5th, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So that bar in total. For the final bar, it's a shortened bar, so there's just 2 beats here. We're going to go to a G chord. So ring and pinky fingers on the 3rd frets of the 6th and 2nd string. We're going to pluck 6th, 2nd, lift your pinky finger, 2nd string again, and 3rd string. So 1 and 2 and that is everything for the intro, which sounds like this. 2. Next we get to verse 1, and there's just 2 lines of tab here. We're going to start with a C chord, and we're just going to strum this from the 5th string to the 1st. Hold that out for the full bar, and then we'll go up to a D5 power chord. So index finger on the 5th fret of the 5th string, ring and pinky is on the 7th fret of the 4th and 3rd. We're going to hit the root note, and then on the 2 beat, the 3rd and 4th strings. So 1 and 2 and 3. On the end beat after the 3, hit the root note, and on the 4 beat, back to the 3rd and 4th strings. Now we're also going to palm mute this as well. So take the fleshy bit of your palm, rest it lightly on the edge of the bridge as you're hitting these notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we'll shift down to a C5 power chord. So it's the same shape, just down 2 frets, and we'll play the exact same rhythm and notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then these final 2 bars are the same as the final 2 bars in the intro, where we have D minor, A minor 7 and G. That's it for the first line of tab, which sounds like this in total. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 3 and 4. The second line of tab is identical to the first. After the first verse, there's a break. Now the break is basically identical to the intro, but we just have 1 minor change here. That's at the start. So at the start, instead of hitting this F shape here, like this, what we're going to do is we're going to hit an F sus2. So ring and pinky fingers on the 3rd frets of the 5th and 4th, index finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. You can keep your middle finger lifted, hit the open 3rd string here, and if you can, reach over your thumb to hit the 1st fret of the 6th string, although that's not entirely necessary. So we're going to strum that, and then we jump into that double stop riff. So 1, 2, 3. Everything else about the break is identical to the intro though. Next we have verse number 2. Now there's a couple of little differences here from verse 1. The first one is an optional little fill for the C5 power chord. So for the C5 power chord, we can start off the same way. 1 and 2 and 3, and on the 4 beat we'll hit this double stop again. So the 5th frets of the 3rd and 4th string, but we'll slide it up to the 7th fret, down and back up. So 4 and the bar in total, 1 and 2 3 and 4 and the only other difference is that the final bar in this second verse is a full bar of music, not just 2 beats. So that G will sound like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Next is the chorus. It's pretty simple. We're just strumming some open chords here. We're going to start with a C chord, and then we're going to go to a G chord, then D minor, and then back to a G. Now we're going to strum each chord with the simple down, 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 up. So that will sound like this. And we'll do that again. Then for the second line of tab, we'll go to an A minor. We're going to pluck 5th, 4th, 2nd, 3rd, then shift to an F. So keep your index finger where it is, ring on the 3rd fret of the 4th, middle on the 2nd fret of the 3rd. We're going to pluck 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd. So the first bar. Then we go to a G, pluck 6th, 4th, 3rd, 4th, and then strum the chord. So second line of tab. And that's it for chorus 1, which will sound like this. Now we have break number 2, which is pretty simple. There's just 2 bars of music here. We strum a C chord, and then there's a little lick here where we're going to hit the root note, slide up to 5th. So just take the whole shape up. No need to lift your fingers. So slide up on the 5th string, then 3rd, 2nd string, and then back to a C on the 2nd bar. So this break 2. We get to verse 3, and it's the same as verse number 2 really, but I'm just leaving out that slide fill. So with the power chords, we're just going to keep it simple. The second chorus is the same as the first chorus, just played through twice instead of once. Next we get to the bridge. There's 2 lines of tab here. We're going to start with an A minor, and we're going to strum this on the 1, the 2, and the 4 beat. So 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and then a G chord. And then we have a little lick here where we're going to pluck the 2nd string, our ring and pinky fingers up 2 frets, and then pluck the 1st string back to the 2nd string, slide down, and on the 1st string. So this lick, and the bar in total. 3rd bar is the same as the 1st bar. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Then a G chord. And on the 4 beat, we'll strum a down, down, up. For the second line of tab, we go to a C chord, and we're going to strum this with a down, 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 up twice. And then D minor. And that's it for the bridge, which will sound like this. We now get to the solo, and there's 4 lines of tab here. In terms of tone, I'm using a different amp type that just has more gain to it. So you could achieve this by adding an overdrive or distortion pedal, or using a different amp model that has more high gain. We'll start on the 9th fret of the 3rd string here, then 10th fret of the 2nd string, and then 12th fret. You're going to pluck this, hold it, bend it up, and release. Now it's a half bend, so we're going to target the pitch of the 13th fret here, that C note. Pluck, hold, bend, release. The second lick is almost the same, except we'll bend and release this 12th fret twice. So up and down twice. Now the first note doesn't occur on the beat, it's on the 16th beat right after the first beat. So 1 E. On that E, that's when we hit that 9th fret. 1 E. 2. Then we're going to go up to the 15th fret of the 2nd string, hit that and bend up a full tone. Now when you're bending, it's a good idea to include your middle finger as well in there, and that'll give you more strength to bend that note up. After that bend, we'll go down to the 5th fret of the 1st string. We're going to hit this twice, then 7th and 8th. So, and then the next lick is back to the 5th fret. We're going to pluck this and hammer on to the 7th and pull off. After that, hammer on, pull off. 8th fret of the 2nd string, back up to 5th, back to 8th fret of the 2nd string, but we're going to hit this and bend. Like that. So the final lick. And the 2nd bar in total. First line of tab in total. 1. For the second line of tab, we hold out that bend and release it, and then we're going to play this lick. 8th fret of the 2nd string, down to 5th fret, back up to 8th, hit the 8th fret again, bend and release. Then for the next lick, it's down to 5th fret, up to 6th fret, and I use my ring finger here. We're going to hit this note and bend and release. As you release, we're going to pull off. And that will take us to the next lick, but let's take a step back. Alright, so from this point, pull off to 5th, 7th fret of the 3rd, back up to 5th fret of the 2nd, 7th fret of the 3rd, we're going to hit this note and bend and release. and pull off after you do. So, and then end on the 7th fret. So from the 6th fret bend. And then to end this bar, we go back up to the 9th fret of the 3rd string and 10th fret. And the 2nd line of tab in total. I'll start from the final note of the 1st line of tab. For the 3rd line of tab, we go up to the 12th fret of the 2nd string. We're going to hit this note and bend up and release 3 times. But the 3rd time we bend up, we're actually going to keep it in that position. Whilst we have this bend up at this position, take your pinky finger, hit the 12th fret of the 1st string. Now with this 2nd string still bent, you'll pluck it at the top of the bend and release. And then hit it one more time. So the bar in total. Then we go up to the 20th fret of the 2nd string and hit this and do a full bend. And then after that, hit the 20th fret by itself, 18th, 17th, and hammer on and pull off to the 18th. And from the last 2 notes of the 2nd line of tab. For the final line of tab, we'll play some octaves here. So we're going to start with this A octave. So index finger on the 7th fret of the 4th string, pinky finger on the 10th fret of the 2nd string. Now with your index finger, you will lightly touch the 5th string and all the strings below the 4th string, so that when you strike this octave, the 4th and 2nd string are the only notes that ring out. So we're going to hit this. We're going to strike it again and shift up to 10th and 13th fret. And then shift this shape down 1 fret. Like that. So for the 2nd bar, we hit this position one more time. Hit the 10th fret octave and move up to 12. Then up to 14th fret octave. Back down to 12th and hit it and slide up to 14th. So this 2nd bar. Then for the 3rd bar, go to the 12th fret of the 4th string, hit it and slide up to 15th. But that's on the beat as well. So 1 and 2, and so you'll slide on the 2 beat. You don't hit it and slide instantly. After that, on the 3 beat, we'll go to 15th fret of the 2nd string, hit that and bend up, release, and hit it one more time. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Up to 19th fret. We're going to hit this and bend up. Then the normal 19th fret, 17th, up to 19th with your index, and then 22nd fret with your ring finger. And that's the last note. So the final bar. That's the solo in total, which will sound like this. 1. After the solo, there's a final chorus, which is played through twice. Now, the very final time we played the G though, we're gonna hold this out for a bar and a half, and then we get to the outro, which is the same as the intro lick. The only difference though is that in the 3rd line on tab, when we get to the D minor, we're just gonna strum it, and that's the end of the song. We're not arpeggiating that, and then the A minor 7 and G. So those are all the electric guitar parts if you want a bit more of a challenge and you want to play this on the electric. So now I'll be doing 2 playthroughs of the song. The first playthrough will be the simple version and the second playthrough will be the studio version. I'll also have a vocal track on top for some context. A big thanks to my friend Eric for lending his awesome vocals through this playthrough. Feel free to play this back as many times as you'd like to practice, play along to, and see how you go.
Follow the mouse claw down to go
Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this lesson, then I know you'll absolutely love these other lessons too. So hit the link here. Or if you want to grab a copy of my free guitar ebook, then head over to guitarzerotohero.com or click the link here. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time on Guitar Zero to Hero. Cheers.